What is up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about estrogen after 40 and reclaiming your feminine power. It can seem really daunting for the estrogen talk, the perimenopausal talk, the menopause talk. It can seem like, oh my gosh, like this is just too much. I'm not ready for this, right? But I promise you, I'm gonna set you up for success. Okay. The basic theme of today's talk is understanding estrogen's role in your energy, your mood, your body composition, and vitality, and how to rebalance it naturally through movement, nutrition, and mindset. So if you are new here, my name is Coach Charnicia. And a little bit of background about me. So I have been in the health and wellness industry for well over 15 years. I'm probably working on year 16 now, but I have a degree in kinesiology, precision nutrition certified, and women's health and hormone specialist certified. That is where I spend the majority of my time. I have spent the majority of my time the last 7 or so years. So super excited to share my knowledge of women's hormones in all different aspects. Menopause, prenatal, postnatal, osteoporosis, diabetes, PCOS. Doesn't all this sound just great for us women to be experiencing as we age? But no, I'm super excited to share my knowledge, especially with my women over 40 who are going through many changes, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally, and really just set you up for success, because you are not old. Get that out of your head. You're not old. Life is not over. It's actually just beginning. So my hope is that you take information from uh, this channel and be able to use it towards reclaiming your power as the beautiful human being that you are and going forth and being healthy. Okay. So without further ado, let's dive into today's talk. Now, you will see me look down at my notes. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I'm a notes person and I like talking points. Okay. So we are going to dive into what estrogen does, how you feel when your estrogen is balanced, signs of estrogen imbalance. So we'll talk about that, and some ways to really rebalance your estrogen hormone. The lifestyle connection, the lifestyle connection. So what um, balanced estrogen does for just life in general for you and vitality, and then reclaiming your power or reclaiming and rebalancing your estrogen, ways to do that. And then we will go ahead and get on out of here. Okay. So estrogen, okay, we hear about it all the time, especially in women over 40. But what does it do? Okay. Estrogen helps to regulate your metabolism. Okay. So when we say regulate your metabolism, this means making sure that your food is digesting properly. You don't really have that bloated feeling when you eat, and the nutrients that you are putting into your body are used efficiently throughout your body, to maintain overall health. Okay. um, it also helps your body burn fat efficiently and maintain blood sugar balance. So estrogen really works hand in hand with, when you're working out, right? Like that fat burning, thing that we need to slim down or lean out. Okay. And it regulates blood sugar. So um, it just regulates, it really could be connected to like PCOS and insulin and all that, but we're not going to get all the way deep dive into that right now. But it does help regulate your blood sugar. Okay. It also supports muscle tone, your mood and emotional balance by boosting serotonin and dopamine. So when your estrogen is balanced, i.e., after your period, you feel balanced and everything is feeling like it's going great. But right before your period, you want to punch the wall, or you just kind of feel all over the place sometimes, or you might feel down, you might feel depressed. Around your period, PMS, those types of things. That is a sign that your estrogen is heightened. Okay, so that just means that your estrogen is imbalanced. But when it is balanced, you definitely feel like your mood is stabilized. You feel, your muscle tone. So you notice, like when in your 20s, you're just toned and you look fit. Okay, and then of course, just that happy mood. And feeling like you can conquer the world. Okay. When we get to our 40s, that starts to fluctuate, and we really start to notice that either your estrogen is too high or too low. Okay. So whenever we go through menopause, a lot of times they talk about low estrogen, but that's not always the case when it comes to menopause. Okay. Sometimes your estrogen can be too high. Um, And lastly, it enhances skin elasticity and collagen. Okay, so when your estrogen is balanced, your skin it's got that bounciness to it. It looks youthful. It's glowing. You look like you've drank a gallon of water a day. And as we age, that starts to change. Our skin starts to get drier. We lose collagen naturally, right? So that's why we add in collagen supplement. But it helps with skin elasticity. After 40, your estrogen production shifts. So before 40, your estrogen is produced in your ovaries, your reproductive organs. But after 40, when you start going into perimenopause, and it doesn't have to be actually 40, okay? When I say after 40, that could be 50, 60, whenever your body starts to produce estrogen less, right? It stops being produced in your reproductive organs, and it starts to be produced in your adrenal glands and fat tissue. So, of course, your body is um, producing less of it. Okay, it's producing less estrogen because most of it, prior to perimenopause and prior to, it shifting, most of it is produced in your reproductive organs. So that's just a little bit about estrogen, what it does, where it's produced, things like that. Okay. So let's talk about how your body feels when estrogen is balanced. Okay. Balanced estrogen feels like harmony. Okay. And it sounds like playing a harp, and everything is so sweet, right? But really, generally speaking, within the body, it does bring balance to your body as a woman. Okay. You have steady energy, you have clear focus, and emotional stability. And that is something that is a very touchy subject for us as women, because we don't like to be told that you're being crabby, or are you PMSing, or what's wrong with you, right? But sometimes it genuinely is your estrogen being imbalanced. Okay, so when I say that, I mean no harm or foul to anybody or anything. It's just emotional stability of feeling highly irritable or feeling calm. Okay, and when our estrogen is balanced, we feel a calmness. We feel like we can get through the day, and problems seem minute compared to um, you know when we just feel like the world is falling apart. Okay. Physically, you notice toned curves, hydrated skin. Like I said, you have that glow to your skin. and you have improved workout focus. If you notice during, like right before your period, okay, you will have the best workouts. I love working out right before my period, like the day before my period starts, because I feel like I can just go, 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 go. I feel strong. I feel like I can do anything, right? But then when I'm actually on my period, don't ask me to do nothing, okay? I will work out, but I definitely have to use lighter weights. You just feel weaker. I mean, that's just because your estrogen is dropping, okay? Um, so that's just a little caveat there. You wake up refreshed, you feel strong, and experience easier fat loss while maintaining lean mass. So when your estrogen is regulated, you do lose fat, at a steady rate. If you are having trouble losing weight, that could be your, that could be your starting point of trying to pinpoint, what might need to be balanced within the body. Okay, because sometimes, sorry, when we're working out, we can do all the right things, but sometimes it's imbalance within the body. So that is definitely something to explore. Confidence, creativity, and connection flow naturally. Okay, so you're in your feminine energy, you're feeling empowered, you're feeling restored. Okay, so this is when estrogen is balanced. Okay, so don't we all want, balanced estrogen, right? So let's talk about signs of imbalance. A lot of us have experienced the high estrogen, where your estrogen is too high. Okay, so um high estrogen can cause bloating, PMS, breast tenderness, headaches, and stubborn fat around your hips and thighs. So this is typically, you know, right after your period or right before your period, where you have that heightened estrogen. Even when you're going through perimenopause or menopause, sometimes your estrogen can be high and not low. Okay. So how you know that it's high is the bloating, the PMS, you know, the breast tenderness, the headaches, and having a hard time losing weight. Okay. Now let's talk about low estrogen. Okay. So low estrogen can bring brain fog, fatigue, dry skin, and loss of libido, or loss of, the want to, do your thing in the bedroom. Okay. And belly fat gain. Okay. So that's kind of how you know if your estrogen is too low or it's too high. Okay. Um, Metabolically imbalanced flow. So whether it's high or low, um, metabolically imbalance, your estrogen being imbalanced slows fat burning and effects of recovery. Okay, so you have a hard time sleeping, your mood is all over the place, and your recovery. So being able to rest even when you're not asleep, or like calm your mind, can slow progress, of wanting to lose weight. Okay, so we cannot mention estrogen without mentioning progesterone. Okay, and estrogen works in harmony with progesterone. Okay, and progesterone is the calming hormone that promotes restful sleep, reduces anxiety, and balances mood. Okay, so when you talk about sleep and your mood, estrogen works hand in hand with progesterone, and we want them to both be balanced so that you get overall health, mind, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Holistic health is something that I teach my clients, and am a big advocate for. Okay. So things that can deplete progesterone. So we've already talked about estrogen, but things that can mess with progesterone, which is basically your calming hormone, would be cortisol. Okay. And we are going to talk about cortisol next week. We're going to deep dive into that. So make sure that you are tuned in for that part. Okay. But cortisol is your stress hormone. So when your stress hormone is really, really high, you notice that you don't sleep very well. You're probably thinking about the things that are causing you stress. Um, and it causes estrogen to heighten as well. So it causes estrogen dominance. Um, Zen, xenoestrogens, xenoestrogens. These are basically like man-made estrogen. They can be found in plastic, makeup, processed foods. Uh, Putting those inside of your body as well can cause estrogen imbalance. So you really want to watch the things that you eat and the things that you actually put on your face on a daily basis, because that can affect your estrogen's body balance. Okay. Your sleep, gut, and liver health determine how efficiently estrogen is metabolized or how estrogen is used. So, you definitely want to make sure that you are taking into consideration your recovery and sleep in a lot of this, because when we sleep and excuse me when we sleep we recover, not only from workouts but from the day's stresses. Your body is able to heal itself properly when you're asleep. So this doesn't, just go with illness. This goes with everyday life. Your body needs to revitalize every day. So you need quality sleep. So take that into consideration when you are working on balancing your estrogen. Okay. Now, reclaiming your power. So we've talked about what estrogen is, what it's like when you have balanced estrogen, when it's too low, when it's too high, how it works with progesterone. Rebalancing. Now we are going to talk about how to reclaim that. How to reclaim and rebalance your estrogen. So, rebalancing estrogen requires small, consistent actions. Okay. It's not a big to do. Okay. I tell clients this all the time. It's not in the big things that you do, it's in the small actions daily over a long period of time that will get you the best results. Okay. So what I suggest you focus on is supporting natural detox pathways. So eating for your hormones. I will be posting foods that will help balance your estrogen, but generally speaking, a balanced diet can definitely help rebalance your estrogen. Some of my clients, like when I work with clients, we put them on carb cycling for the first few months just to rebalance metabolism. But you can absolutely rebalance estrogen by a balanced diet. And what that means is just having adequate amount of protein. A lot of women are missing um, protein that is not a protein shake, but animal based protein or plant based protein. That is a big piece of metabolism and leaning out your body and helping to, rebalance your estrogen. So, upping your protein, having leafy greens, adding flaxseed to your diet, adding chia seeds to your diet can definitely help. And then having the proper amount of carbs. Too many times we have way too many carbs, okay? And then sometimes we have the overly processed carbs or carbs that are empty, like French fries. Um, what's another one? French fries come to mind because I really love French fries. I will eat French anyways. That's a story for another day. But you definitely want healthy carbs like sweet potatoes. You can have regular potatoes in moderation. Rice, brown rice, wild rice, couscous, quinoa. Those type of carbs can really help rebalance your estrogen. But again, let's have those in moderation. But protein focused meals, okay, and less processed protein focused meals can definitely help, okay. Um, Boosting your energy levels. Okay, so reclaiming your estrogen balance. You can do that by boosting your energy levels, and you boost your energy levels by moving. So many of us women that are over 40, we have gotten caught behind our desk. Okay, or if you are retired, you're probably really not moving that much, or you're not moving as much as you used to. Okay, so movement, walking outside, getting into a workout routine, which we will do this week. So I will be posting that. So stay tuned for that. But um, getting your body moving. You are not old. Your body is not old. It is just not used to moving anymore. Okay. So we have to retrain our bodies to move and retrain our minds to uh, enjoy the journey. Okay, working out is not always fun, but the effects of working out are greater than you could ever imagine. So definitely add movement into your daily routine. However you see fit, but I do recommend that for energy levels to come up and estrogen to balance out, which in turn helps you burn fat. So remember that, okay? The other thing is improving skin from the inside out. So eating the things that are healthy to your body, letting go of processed foods, balancing out the dairy that you eat, balancing out what's another big one? Balancing out your carbs, adding protein in there, and you will literally see your face start to glow again. Okay, your skin starts to clear up when you eat healthy, when you eat leafy greens, and you just have a balanced diet. Also, adding collagen into your daily vitamin routine. Put a scoop of collagen into your coffee or tea every morning. That can do wonders for your skin. On top of hydration, drinking lots and lots of water, and eliminating sugary drinks. Okay, that can definitely help regulate your estrogen and clear up your skin more than you could ever imagine. If you need a collagen, I will put a link the description in the description box for you. I personally take collagen every day, but you can use my code for 25% off of collagen. You are welcome. Okay, but that'll be in the box. Okay, so the last thing is going to be to manage stress. Okay, um, you need to release the things that go on a daily basis. Okay, jot it down in a journal. Okay, write your thoughts down before you go to bed, or when you first wake up in the morning. This can definitely help to reduce stress. Having a sleep routine, so making sure that you have about an hour to wind down before you actually get in the bed. Take a shower, drink a warm cup of tea, turn off electronics. Try not to watch TV. Some people go to sleep with their TV on. I think you are I can't do it. Okay. I go sleep to rain. So, but help to um, calm your mind before you go to sleep. Sometimes we watch Law and Order before we go to sleep, and then we're dreaming about Law and Order in our dreams, and then we're wondering why we didn't get adequate rest. Okay. So, just work on a wind down routine. Stretching before bed can help bring your stress levels down, and help you get better rest, help you recover better, and help balance your estrogen. Okay. Um, Remember, hormone balance takes patience and time and consistency over a long period of time. Okay. It's not going to balance in a week or 2 weeks, but consistent action over time always breeds results. Okay. Lastly, this is a journey towards empowerment. It is not about perfection. Okay. You can always get results with consistency over perfection. Okay. We can only be perfect 1 or 2 times a week. We can be consistent every single day. Okay. If this content resonated with you, comment below and share what part spoke to you the most. This is a supportive space. So we encourage one another, we stay kind, and we celebrate wins. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video where we work it out. So bring your workout clothes, some dumbbells, and a mat. Okay, I'll see you next time.